All right, so I drilled a few more holes. So I'm working on the lighting circuit now. I have one 12-2 wire feeding a box right there, which I'm going to branch off two separate boxes. This box here, I'll have two light switches, one for the main lights here and another for probably a big light up in the open area. And then I'll have another box behind the door, and this will control like the outside lights, and I just have a spare for something else. This will be on a timer, and you can still get at it when you close the door to set the time and whatnot, but this will just be automatic. I figure it's close enough to this one. It's in the same area, so I think that's a good spot. And I'll have the main feed for the lights right here. That'll be the boxes right there, so I can come right down to this, right over down to this, and then come out to the lights. And I'll have one circuit in the box that's labeled lights, and it'll be all the lights that are in here. And I have some 14-2 in my basement. I'll eat that up, some of the lighting here. I think code, you're supposed to use all of this 12-2, but what am I gonna do with the 14-2 that I have in my basement? You know, I might as well eat it up. It's a shed. It's gonna be all LEDs in here. That's what I'm doing. Most of the wires run. I gotta add a box on that wall over there, one up high and then down low. So two boxes over there. I gotta run some runs up in the loft. I'll put a few plugs in the loft, probably one on that wall, one on that wall, and maybe two along that wall. And I'll just run one circuit. Electrical's almost done. So this is how I've been putting these outlets together. I'm just bridging them with a couple jumpers, and I'll have the feed come in on this side and go to the next receptacle on this one. And then the ground, when I pulled that wire, I had a whole bunch of these strands left over. So I chalk it up in a drill and spin it. And then I'm left with this right here. So then I just bridge them and then wire nut them in the box. So I'm not gonna tighten this up all the way because I'm gonna have to pull these outlets out and angle them once I put my wall coverings on, whether it's plywood or whatever I'm gonna do. But at least for the time being, they're here. And as long as you don't go crazy, you know, you can still use these. Just don't go crazy with it. Should be fine. All right, so I got some 10-3 ran for a water heater, and I also have a nice big fat one. I think this is 8 gauge in a box right down here. So there's a panel. I gotta pick up this breaker. That's for this 240 circuit here. This is 8-3 wire, so I could probably run a pretty decent sized breaker, probably a 50 amp breaker on that. This is a 30 amp breaker for the 240 for the water heater. Got all the outlets are working. The only one that is not working is this one right here. It's installed, it's just in the tripped position. And that is for this extra wire down here, which is the patio feed. This one here is live. That's an outlet on the outside. But that one right there, it's gonna go into some conduit. And that'll be the power for the outside around the patio. I might change some of those breakers to arc fault combination, but they're like $60. So I might just swap out one of these plugs here for a GFCI. One of those and one of those, because there's 2 circuits over there. So as long as I pick up that one there, that'll feed the other circuits, and that one there, that'll feed the other circuits for GFI protection. So the installation, I got some plywood up on the walls, so that is done. That is not going in there again. Got some plumbing run, but that'll be a separate video I'll do on the plumbing. So let's count the outlets I got. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 on the bottom, 9 and 10 up on the corners, so there's 10. And then that side there's got 4, so that's 14. I got another one next to the garage there, so 15. Then 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. Oh, and the loft, I got one up there, 24, up in there, 25, and up above there, 26. So 26 outlets, and all of them except for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 are double outlets, and then 1 and 2 240 circuits. So I think that's pretty good. Should have enough power. And then for outside, got an outdoor outlet there, and then around the back side, I got two separate outlets and 2 separate circuits right here. So that'll be awesome from when we do bouncy houses, because we usually get 2 bouncy houses. You know, one's like a water slide bouncy house and the other's just a regular bouncy house. And the motors on those things take some serious power. So they'll have their own circuits separate. Won't have to worry about tripping anything. Yeah, so this came out awesome.